Now let me welcome everybody to the Wild Wild West, a state that's untouchable like Elliot Ness. The track gets your ear drawn like a slug to your chest, like a vest for your Jimmy in the city of sex. We in that sunshine state, where the bomb has hit me. The state where you never find a dance floor empty.
Ty, it's been a hot night already, but I definitely wanted you in the booth here for this one because nobody, and I mean nobody, knows the All-Stars better than you.
Brad, it's an honor to be here with you again. It has been a tremendous card so far. I'm enjoying myself, but like you said, look at the coach. Does he know anything about a 10 in bed?
It's the blinding white coming off of those legs of Coach Gemini.
I know he's just, look at, who wears a hat on the inside? I'm sorry. I'm just sorry. I had to say it.
No doubt. Well, he might be afraid of getting another concussion. You know, he's had 16 or 18 of them.
Oh, yeah, that is true, but he's chewing gum now, but he can't chew gum and talk and walk at the same time. Oh,
big
God.
kick from Ortega, and Ortega looks like he means business here tonight against Chris Lee.
You know, Brad, I've been watching this Chris Lee, and I tell you what, he's come a long ways, and Jesse's torn with him right now and trying to get in his head, but if you don't, Chris Lee will strike up and, hey, he'll win real quick. Oh, my God.
Coach back on the apron here.
Hey, Brad, so let me ask you this question.
Yes, sir.
Now, how is it that when Coach is with, I'm not trying to start nothing here, but when he's with Roy and Walter, they're the greatest tag team of all time. But I noticed tonight he said the same thing to McAllister and Jesse Ortega.
A little bit of double talk there from the coach. Well, I mean, you know it as well as anybody, you know. I'm sure when you were with the coach, he would fill you up and you're my #1 priority, you know. And then as soon as you're out of earshot, you know, Jesse or Ray or whoever is his #1 priority. That's just how that double talk. That's just how the coach is.
So I'm a double talk and tell him he needs to go to a 10 in bed. I'm gonna for his birthday. I think I'm gonna give him a 10 in bed.
Ortega now trying to get out of this hole, but Chris Lee, this is a real good matchup here, Jesse Ortega and Chris Lee. Ortega wrestles him down.
I'll tell you, a lot has been said about Ortega. He's probably one of the old veterans here in the locker room, but I'll tell you what, he can still go if, given the right opportunity.
Chris Lee sends him to the far corner here. Ortega now adjusting his ring gear.
Nice kick pads.
Up, up, up.
Oh, my God. I thought we got rid of this darn whistle.
Coach is calling for a timeout. He says he pulled the tights. Jesse Ortega.
Come on.
Jesse Ortega talking to Robbie Walsh.
Listen to this crowd. They said no timeout. This is professional wrestling.
Boy, they do not like the All-Stars one bit.
You know, Brad, that's one thing. It's a disadvantage for him to blow that whistle. When I was in the All-Stars, every time he blew that whistle, it's annoying to me. It was annoying.
I believe this. It would definitely distract me no matter which side of the fence I was on. And, that was one of the things back in the numerous battles between the All-Stars and Fatback. That was one of the things that I always talked about was tune out the whistle, ignore it, try not to even listen to it.
It's so hard though, Brad, when he won't stop. Do you think Jesse's a little frustrated right now with Chris Lee right now?
I think he might be. Chris Lee, great wrestler, product of the Mid-Atlantic Dojo.
Uh-oh.
Ortega did not let him have it at all. Up.
I'll tell you what, Chris Lee you can't sleep on him. Look at this.
Slips out again, and Chris Lee is up. Deep arm drag there.
Shades of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
And he fires away at Ortega. Nope, suplex. Ortega not going to let him have it. They do not like Ortega at all here at Opportunity Knocks 2013. Chris Lee avoids the maneuvers and takes Ortega down into his corner.
He needs to tag right about now.
You know, Grant Sawyer caught it on his camera right there. Cameraman Grant Sawyer. I think he heard Ortega's pride there. Ortega really didn't want to tag out. He looked back at Chris Lee, but he said, you know what, I'm already over here. I might as well take a break. Yeah, but that head scissors hurt Ortega's pride. Ortega did not want to tag out. He wanted to keep going. I think this kid embarrassed him out wrestling Jesse Ortega.
And I know Jesse, Brad, and you know he's a very prideful person. It takes a lot to hurt his pride.
McAllister called for timeout. It did not work as the Mid-Atlantic champion. who survived one of the craziest matches in CWF history back at Absolute Justice.
Brad, I wasn't here for that, but I went back and watched it. I'll tell you what, say what you want about the Arik Royal. He's a tough son of a gun. You can't sleep on him. He is one of the toughest guys, I dare say, here in the sport of professional wrestling. Yes, I said it. Even in the state of North Carolina, Arik Royal is the man.
I think maybe the two toughest guys in CWF Mid-Atlantic that duked it out in that street fight main event at Absolute Justice, Arik Royal and Zane Dawson. That match, as well as the entire Absolute Justice card. Cover here from Chris Lee. Robbie Wallace is right there, only a count of 2.
You know,
that
Brad,
street fight and the entire event is available at ondemand.cwf247.com. The full event, every match, every moment. And to your point, Ty Dillinger, here comes Jesse Ortega again, and I think we may have caught on to something here. He really looks a little tentative to lock up with this young lion, this rising star, Chris Lee.
Yeah, but and I noticed McAllister's no slouch either. I think he wanted to get out there. Chris Lee is really, I think, throwing off their game plan here.
He's the Rising Generation League champion. The leader of the Rising Generation League is Chris Lee.
He is taking Jesse Ortega's, taking his chops.
That's a hard hitter, a heavy hitter is Ortega. Clothesline all the way up and over the top.
If I was a coach, I think I would call a timeout right now because look at Chris Lee, is just on fire. And Brad, you got to watch him because he will.
He might. Oh boy. Is Chris Lee gonna fly here? Oh God! 360 dive into the crowd! Security as usual standing around with their hands in their pockets, but the front row may have just got taken out by Chris Lee, the Rising Generation League champion, who flew. He soared through the air, did Chris Lee.
If they didn't respect him, they respect him now. If I know Jesse Ortega and Michael McAllister, they respect him now. Look at the coach. He has nothing to say now.
Ortega is down and hurt. Only a 2 count. Referee Robbie Walsh was right there. Ortega and McAllister are going to have to pull themselves out of this lurch here because the Rising Generation League champ and the Mid-Atlantic champ have been in control for a couple of minutes now, and the champ tags in and tees off on Ortega.
Brad, I will say this about Arik Royal. Has there ever been a Mid-Atlantic champ who's battled them all, fought them all? I mean, just tough as hell, can wrestle you, can fight you, can brawl with you. He's done that this year since being the champion.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Something like 12 or 13 title defenses under his belt in 6 months. Now we understand entering the Weaver Cup tournament that he has won twice. Great move from Ortega, great move. Entering the Weaver Cup tournament that he has won twice. Arik Royal going for the 3-peat. McAllister drops the elbow on Chris Lee. Chris Lee might be stunned from that one. No,
he needs to hook the leg. He needs to hook the leg.
Of course, that tournament will begin in just a few moments as Nick Richards and Andrew Everett kick off the tournament. But the All-Stars here are looking to get out of their losing streak as Absolute cover, only 2. Absolute Justice was not a good night for the All-Stars.
Oh my gosh.
As of course, Eaton and Wilkins lost the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship. Going to be a suplex here. Of course, we will see Ric Converse and Nick Cyrus, the Dynasty, defend the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team Championship later on tonight against Trevor Lee and Ben Tyler, the Aftermath, in our main event here. Ortega going for the big superplex here. No, Chris Lee not going to let him have it. Great wrestling from Chris Lee. Talking to the crowd, though, might be a mistake against this battle-tested veteran. Gorgeous drop kick from Chris Lee.
He needs to make the tag, Brad. He needs to make the tag. I'll tell you what, he's been fighting.
With the time limit running out, the next big move may win this contest. Chris Lee is going to elect to go for the tag. He's going to elect to go for the tag instead of hitting that big maneuver. Flag is thrown. I think it distracted Ortega. God, got chopped right in the face by Royal.
I think it was a kick. Is that legal?
I think the coach, I think it's what you were talking about, Ty. I think the coach ended up distracting his own man.
That's what I'm telling you. It can be a distraction.
Arik Royal now got Ortega. Boom! Drops him hard.
He's on fire.
Arik just beast mode. He just slammed suplexed Ortega. Arik Royal is dominating the ring. The coach cannot believe it on the apron. Arik Royal is absolutely getting work done here. No, Fujiwara, this is going to be it right here. This may be it. No, the coach is in the ring. What is the coach doing? What is this idiot doing?
I told you about this. This is a distraction.
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Coach is putting himself in the match as a sub. What is this moron doing? Oh, the helmet. The helmet crashed into the midsection. Sick kick. He landed into the coach. And they beat him. Arik Royal wraps it up just barely with seconds to spare. What is wrong with the All-Stars, Ty? They have never been this out of sync.
Brad, I told you, Coach is a distraction. He is a distraction. Not only those bright white legs, but him putting himself into the match when Jesse probably had the Mid-Atlantic champion beat. Possibly.
I have never seen the All-Stars so out of sorts. Coach is arguing with referee Robbie Walsh, but I have never seen the All-Stars so out of sorts, so discombobulated.
Brad, one thing I can say, if I was Jesse Ortega, I'd really be upset right about now.
Yeah, no doubt. Ortega is still down and hurt here. Well, the All-Stars are having big problems inside the ring here.
They're blaming Jesse here.
They are blaming Jesse, it looks like. Oh.
But, Brad, it was not Jesse Ortega's fault. Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Uh-oh.
The problems in the All-Stars have put a halt to this entire event here at Opportunity Knox.
I'll tell you what, Brad, they got some issues going on in the All-Stars.
Undeniably so.
You know what? I'll tell you, they've lost the Mid-Atlantic Tag Team titles.